I want to start out by saying there's a lot of stuff that happens in this trailer, but also not a lot at the same time. There's some key details, but not many we can kind of bring out, but I can speculate on. So we're gonna start this up right quick. I condense it down a little bit. So first thing that happens is giant ship. It has wings on it. It looks like a actual Orcan snake ship. So like in the War Within, there was like this thing that was underneath the sand. It looked like a gigantic one of those, except it's flying. They don't show any color. That's the thing that was on purpose during this whole trailer. And there's this guy standing here. He has a mask on, like the planes of Duviri people. Plane spelled Plane, not Plaine. And you can see some rocks and some kind of metal constructs in the ground. He looks at this giant ship. That ship kind of looks like a fusion of sentient and orcan design. There are also animals in this open world part, and there's a bunch of things that kind of look like trees. There is a Dax here. He looks like a Dax, but he has like these robotic pieces, and it kind of looks like a fusion of robotic stuff in the Dax. Also, look at his head. His head looks completely Orcan, or of Orcan design, or something like that. I wouldn't even put it past that this is not even a actual person. It could just be a robot of Orcan design, which looked like it was patrolling the area and it saw this guy and it's like, oh look, let me see who he is. But he went upon an aggressive way of doing it. And then as you can see here now, the character who we see got his mask knocked off. And who he looks like? Hayden Tenno from Dark Sector. Now we go back a little bit, he has a backflash of himself putting his gun inside this hole that's on the ground. I don't know why he put his gun inside the hole in the ground, but he put his gun inside this hole in the ground. And now we go back, the Dax sees his face, and you can see the technology on him because he has like this thing on his back that kind of rotates. But the Dax is gonna go try and attack him. Also, he's wearing the regular suit that you get as an operator whenever you first start, except without the hood. Now he pulls out his shotgun here. I think that's a Tigress. Yeah, it's a Tigress. So I mean, kind of shows you more that he's a Tenno, and then he shoots him. It pans forward. Now he's on the horse that is like this Orcan slash technological horse. I'm not. That looks like a man-made horse to me. It does. Cause look at the tail. The tail has the same type of thing that the Orcan things had in the War Within. And he walks towards that giant ship. Now I think that ship is the most important thing in this whole trailer. And yeah. So yeah, that's basically what happens. I'm sure that the Plains of the Ruri is going to be on Lua. I'm like 99. Okay, I'm like 80% sure, closer to 99, but I'm like 80 plus percent sure that it's gonna be on Lua. Cause why wouldn't it be on Lua? There's a multiple reasons why it'd be on Lua. Look at the grassy plains. If you look at the Lua, the Lua not tile set, the Lua capture scene, the capture scene for Lua, it kind of looks like this. Without, I mean, it just all has no color on it, but it looks like the Lua capture scene. So I wouldn't put it past that it would be the Lua capture. I mean the actual Lua place, or somewhere between Lua and where the sentient map that we're gonna be going to is at. And it's also possible that we might just be getting a brand new place. That's why it looks unfamiliar but familiar at the same time. Like it looks like it has rocks and grass, but mostly like just plains. Which plane can be a flat surface, not just like a ship that fly. Or it could be a double meaning because there are giant flying things all around here. So it could be planes, or it could be plane, like a plane, a flat surface, or it could be a construct made by people. So that could be all three meanings. It could be a triple meaning. But yeah, there's a lot that we can see from this trailer. But not a lot of answers, just a lot to kind of just go off on. And honestly, everything's black and white. Maybe that's how it actually looks in this world, but I think not, because whenever he had that backflash, there was color. But at the same time, the only thing that is visually colored in this map is that giant ship. That ship has some blues, some oranges, and some yellows. And also, when he shot just now, you can see color on his face. So, not sure, but I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen when this thing comes out. And they show off like a Duviri NPC or something like that, and I'm gonna clip it together so you guys can see what I'm talking about with that. But I hope you guys enjoy this and wait for my edits. Yes. So for example, the very bundle WIP that they showed off, it actually has two weapons up there. One is a dagger and one is a gun. Now the gun on the top looks like kind of Orkin of design, and the one at the bottom looks like the same exact gun or the same type of gun, but like a cheap imitation of it or a more rusty version of it. But it simply looks like the same gun. You look at the trigger looks broken on this one, and I guess this is like the not the magazine, or it could be a magazine. I'm not sure because that's look like what the ammo could go at. That is broken on this version, and this thing right here is stuck up, while this one is slanted down, and then the arm thingy for the gun is broken in the back, but it looks like the same exact type of gun. Just one looks like a kind of cheaper imitation or a copy of it. So maybe that kind of gives you insight on the Duviri people. They might be trying to take over what the Orkin left off. And another thing to kind of back up that statement, somebody did a speculation on the plains of Duviri on the forums, January 18th of this year, and then he pointed out that the person looks like an Orkin, and he has an elongated arm like Balla's, and has a blue face, kind of like how the Orkin are, but the person is not Orkin, because if you really look at him, his skin, where his hand is, that's brown, and then you look at his left leg too, that's also brown. So what I'm thinking personally is that these are Dax, and the Dax are trying to take over where the Orkin left off. And it says you can see that she's wearing a mask and has a blue face. It's not like Ballas's arm, because it is like Ballas's arm because it's long, but it's robotic instead of actually being, an actual arm. And it's not gold. The color of the clothing is more of a iron pyrite, he said, which is like fool's gold, a mineral that often is taken for gold. And he's like, perhaps a new faction of people who are emulating the Orkin is possibly trying to rebuild their empire. And I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I feel like the people who are doing this are definitely trying to imitate the Orkin or just replace the Orkin. And maybe they are in cahoots with the sentient. But my main thing that I want to point out here is that I think that Lua is going to be where the plains of Duviri is at, because they don't show much, but because it's like all black and white. Maybe they did that on purpose, not just for the dramatic effect. They don't show any colors, because if you see gold or white, it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be a void. Or like, I don't think it's gonna be like the void, because the void is like all inside. Like, we have never seen the outside of the void before. We always seen the inside of places in the void, and the void is also supposed to be like a portal that you can walk through that will take you to where the Orkin lives. So possibly the plains of the Duviri might actually be in between Lua and the void, but I feel like more often that's gonna be in Lua, because no one else besides us prime warframes are supposed to be able to get into the void without a void key. And in technical warframe lore, there are no more void keys. There are only relics. Now, I'm not sure the Grenier can get these relics, but we haven't seen that yet. But they also state that the Tenno secret. My bad. Lua is the Earth moon, accessible as a location in the star chart. Once the seat of the Orc Empire power during their reign is now shattered and broken, scarred by the old war, formerly hidden away by the Lotus to protect the Tenno secret. Recent events have led to the reemergence of the lost celestial body, and now its fragmented remains are fought over by the Grenier and Corpus, with sentient fighters lurking about. What you can see, Grenier and Corpus are always fighting each other on, for example, Plato and on Lua, the Crossfire mission. Lua can only be unlocked after a player completes. Well, that's not important right there, but basically, that's what I'm saying. Like, Lua is possibly the area where we're gonna have the planes of Duviri, because I feel like it makes the sense the most. We got Earth, and then we got Venus, which is Fortuna. So I think the next possible place would be Mercury, or go the opposite direction with it and just go to Lua, because Lua is like right there next to Earth. You have to go to Lua from Earth, and I mean they look like Orkin slash designs are kind of imitated Orkin designs all over the place with these new Duviri people. So possibly that's what I think is gonna happen with the planes of Duviri, is that it's gonna be an amalgamation of Orkin design mixed with technology to have this new type of, I guess, faction basically. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to kind of point out in this video with the speculation with the planes of Duviri. I feel like it's gonna be on Lua, and that we are going to possibly be able to make some Orkin styled weapons with them. And I feel like it's gonna be more story than like actually how I mean planes and Fortuna have story behind it. That's our version of story expansion in Warframe, but I feel like it's gonna be more story driven than like faction interactions. And possibly we're gonna see that character who we met in the Plains of Duviri, and possibly that could be Hayden, and we get more insight on the Tenno. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Tell me what you guys feel about it. Tell me what you think the Duviri is going to be a good faction or a bad faction, and like what kind of interaction you think we're going to have with them. And yeah, that's all I have for you. Have a good day or night depending on what time of day you watch this video. Okay, bye.